Hey everyone, top lane is the lane of counter picks where some matchups can just feel unplayable. We've all been there. But in low elo, matchups will very rarely mean much since they will be making so many mistakes that you can take advantage of. One matchup that doesn't fit this rule though is Irelia vs Yorick. An Irelia player can be drooling on their keyboard and playing with a Guitar Hero controller and still win that. So if you play Yorick, ban Irelia. But anyways, the example I'm going to be using today is where I pick Alawi vs Jace in gold. This is a very hard matchup for Alawi, as all range matchups are. But through one simple mistake Jace makes, I stomp the lane in about 5 minutes. So let's briefly talk about how the matchup is supposed to go for each champion so you can actually understand the lane. Jace is a ranged champion essentially, and Alawi is melee. Because of this, Jace should be looking for a cheater recall or just a 3-wave slow push. This means Jace wants to get the push advantage, which is extremely easy since Alawi shouldn't be able to walk up to auto the wave at level 1, but then once he has the push, he will slowly push until 3 waves are stacked up and crash it on the tower. If Alawi walks up for CS while he's doing this, she should take a bunch of poke, but a good Alawi will just grab whatever CS she can with Q while staying safe. Once the wave is crashed, Jace can recall and buy a long sword and control ward, then walk back to lane without having to use TP. Alawi will take a while to grab the CS under tower since the wave is so big, and it will slow push back to Jace. Because he should have the health and item advantage, Alawi will be in a rough spot trying to get the wave in and would most likely have the TP, so Jace would have the TP advantage as well. So that's how the matchup is supposed to go, and it works this way for most range vs melee, or even melee vs melee depending on who wins level 1 and 2. If you win level 1 and 2, you would be doing the same thing Jace does. Now let's get into the gameplay so you can see what Jace does wrong. As I walk into lane, I'm going to be doing exactly what I said. I'm just playing safe knowing I can't really walk up to the wave at level 1 without taking damage. But something I noticed right away is Jace didn't leash. And if we look at the minimap at bot lane, their bot lane isn't on the map yet, meaning Nidalee definitely started blue. This will be important in a bit, but this is something you should be doing every game. Like if I saw Jace and bot lane didn't leash, the enemy jungler probably started Raptors and will clear red side first. You need to know where they started every game so you can ward properly. Alright, now that these 3 minions are getting low, I want to use my Q to grab them all and remain safe, but I'm going to position myself at an angle where I can hit them all and hit Jace with my Q. This is as efficient as it gets when it comes to cooldown usage. Poke and CS at the same time. After that, I'm backing up pretty far right away. Jace can actually just run at me here and bully me until my next wave gets here. That's exactly what would happen in high elo, but luckily he doesn't take advantage of this window. After that, these next 2 CS are getting low, so I'm going to grab them with my Q as well. I couldn't go for an efficient angle where I hit the CS and Jace this time, because then I would be really overextended and he can just all in me. Now the next wave arrives, and before we go any further, look at the waves now. You should see a big problem here. If you remember what Jace should be doing right now, he should be slow pushing 3 waves in. Because of this, I knew right here that I won the lane. He doesn't realize the number 1 most important thing he needs to do to win this lane is to push. So I'm going to walk up and grab one last hit with an auto. I can auto it this time because I'm extremely safe now. If Jace tries to jump on me here, I just hit the minion and get level 2 while he's still level 1 and beat his ass down. Sadly, Alawi isn't a champion with an insane level 2 like Irelia or Jax or Darius. If I was one of them, I could just run at him and force his flash here. But since I don't have that luxury, I just use my Q to grab these 2 CS and hit Jace, being extremely efficient once again. After that, because I know Nidalee started bot and I'm pushing, I want to drop a ward. Because I see one melee minion about to die and I don't want to miss that experience, I make a mistake and drop a lazy ward here in the river. I should have killed this last melee minion, then walked over and warded the tri-brush. I return to the wave now, constantly moving to make sure I'm not an easy target for Jace's EQ combo, then angle myself the same way as before to hit him and grab this minion with Q. So notice how even though I have the push advantage, I'm still prepared to give up a last hit like this range minion here. This is because if I walk up that far, I'm still vulnerable, I'm in his wave. But by pushing, it means Jace can't bully me at all. If I stand in my wave and he jumps on me or just tries to poke me, I can just auto attack him to death or my minions will do more damage than he does to me. Basically, I have full control over the lane. I will hit level 3 first, crash the wave first, recall first. I'll get all of these advantages and he won't because he didn't push at the start even when he didn't have to leash. Also, I brought Ghost instead of Teleport, which would make his game plan even more efficient. If I took a lot of damage while he pushes 3 waves in, I wouldn't even be able to TP back to lane and would have to take a terrible recall as there would be no way I could crash the wave on his tower before resetting. But anyways, I'm 1 minion from level 3 now, so as soon as I grab it, I start walking at him from this angle because I'm cutting him off. I know he can't beat me while 1 level down, even though my champion is basically a cannon minion with summoner spells at this point in the game. He's obviously trying to juke my E, but because of my level advantage, I'm fine to just hit him with W and autos first while he jukes himself out, and once he starts running, then I'll use my E. I use Q and miss so hard I hit the moon, but then I see Nidalee show up late because of my bad ward earlier. As soon as she shows and throws her spear, I just flash away since it would be hard to dodge it when I didn't expect her to be there. Jace flashes after me, but since Nidalee is kind of far away, I use E on Jace, and this next tip is Alawi specific, but when I pull the spirit, watch how I move. If I just run it away towards my tower, they can run me down. But by running up like this, I'm forcing Jace to run through the tentacle slap if he wants to chase me. As Jace starts to run away, my next threat is Nidalee's spear, so that's what I'm paying attention to. And once that misses, I'm waiting for my W to come up so I can finish off that ghost. Once it's dead, I know Jace is completely out of the fight, but Nidalee can still kill me. So I walk into the brush to drop vision of me and use Q, then walk to the next brush ready for her next spear. Now I know I'm completely safe for now since she can't see me and I'm just waiting for cooldowns. Once my E is up, I go for Nidalee since she's not standing behind any minions, and as soon as it lands, I know I win this 100% as long as I don't eat a spear. So I click to the side to preemptively dodge, and since she doesn't throw it yet, I start damaging the spirit. I'm moving constantly in between autos and abilities, waiting for her next spear until she finally throws it, then I dodge and finish the spirit. Now I'm clearly on the offensive, especially with my minion army with me, so I W to the minion for a small gap closer and to finish the wave off so my minions can start moving forward. Then I hit Jace with Q to get him a bit lower. I want to dive Jace right away, but my corruption potion damage on him is ticking, so I have to wait a second for it to fall off before I go in. And while doing that, this Nidalee dies to a tentacle slap. After that, it's as simple as pressing W and clicking Jace. I don't have to do anything else, and Alawi will finish the job for me. Now, I would just clear the wave and recall, but because it's low elo, I wanted to try and bait Jace when he TP'd in since I had a wave, 2-level lead, and 2 tentacles set up. Sadly, he didn't take the bait, so I back off and recall. I go to a pretty safe spot to recall though, because if he did stop it, I would be in a terrible spot since I don't have TP. When I get back to lane, the wave is pushing to me, but this time that's a bad thing for Jace since I have double buffs and a huge gold lead. So I just go in right away using my double buffs to get a super nice trade. Now I drop my control ward in the river since I know I can defend it easily, then grab a few CS before moving up to look for an E onto the Jace for more pressure. As I walk at him, you can easily see how he's going to dodge up just by reading his dodge pattern. So I throw it like this and it lands, and once it lands, he's completely screwed. He has no potions, no health, and the wave is pushing to me. So I just back off and hold the freeze for a bit. He recalled, so he's just losing so much golden experience. The lane is already completely over, but to put the nail in the coffin when he gets back, I thin the wave out a bit using my tentacle setup, then clear one minion in front of me so I can throw my E, land it, and was hoping Jace would jump in with his melee form here since I had low health and a huge wave killing me, but since he didn't, I just ult, focus the ghost first to slow him and get tentacle spawning, then jump in with W and Q to finish him off. Now he is level 5 to my level 7, the wave is pushing to me so I can freeze it still and recall, and I have a 3 kill lead all because he didn't push at level 1. If he did, none of this would have been possible, and I would have 0 kill pressure on him to at least level 5. Alright guys, so as you can see, even in bad matchups, they are winnable if you can abuse the mistakes low elo players are constantly making. By the way, you should know where our guides come from. Our hyper improvement platform SkillCapped is the #1 place to actually start improving at League of Legends. You can input your rank before signing up to see where we'll think you'll climb to. Then, if you don't hit that rank while actively using SkillCapped, you can claim a full refund. That's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. We offer this because our services really do work. And if it doesn't, then you shouldn't pay for it. Check us out right after this. But that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.